Good day. We are the Group 1 and we are going to report the teleological ethics. So this is our member list and this is our table of contents. First, the teleological ethics will be reported by Theo de la Peña and Eunice Guerrero. Second, the utilitarianism, which will be reported by April Cabacoy and Trisha Lopez. Consequentialism will be reported by Shairos Puerto and Greg Hemunda. Fourth, hedonistic, which will be reported by Family Akbay and Joseph Ayag. And lastly, the principle of happiness, which will be reported by Clyde Segura. And lastly, the conclusion will be reported or stated by Clyde Segura. So let's start. First topic, which is the teleological ethics.
So, the word teleology is a combination of the Greek word telos, which means end or purpose, and logia means study of or a branch of learning.
Now, to further understand the teleological theory, I will be giving examples. So, first example is eating. What is the telos of eating? Again, the telos means the aim, goal, or the end. So, what is the telos of eating? Of course, to get the nutrition, to not get hungry, like to nourish our bodies or like have energy or have healthy bodies. If you're eating in a way that permits your body to be properly nourished, then that's good. If, however, eating in such a way that you are preventing your body from being nourished, like you're eating too much or eating the wrong foods, like will make you unhealthy, then it will become a moral issue or problem. Now, if you have a tapeworm, you're not responsible for that. We're not talking about the situation that you cannot control the result. As far as you permit or allow nourishment to take place, you can pick from a lot of foods. You can order from menu, or you can pick what you want, and then like put spices. But don't eat in such a way that you're preventing your body from being nourished. And that's how it works about eating. Another example is going to college, going to a university. So what is the telos of going to college or going to university? It's not getting a job because college cannot control that, but it is to get an education. The telos of going to college is to get an education. Just like eating, you can choose from different schools, programs, professors, and courses, and even you can join clubs like sports, choir, dancing, or even debate clubs. And as long as none of that will interfere or be a hindrance to getting an education, then it's fine. Now, however, you make something that interferes and become a hindrance to education, like joining sorority or like gangs or any clubs that will interfere you in getting an education, then you'll get a problem. That's where you can have a moral issue. So that is how it works. So another is sex. So what is the telos of sex? So it is for reproduction, to procreation, and also for the pleasure. So as you all know that sex has proper context. And according to the Roman Catholic Church, that you should not do anything that will interfere with procreation. Like for example, the artificial birth controls or vasectomy. Thomas Aquinas was a Roman Catholic theologian, which the hierarchy has problems with birth control and because it interferes the procreation, which is the telos of sex. Again, telos is the aim, the goal, or the end. So another example is the masturbation. So what is the telos of masturbation? So the Roman Catholic Church, the book of Thomas Aquinas for guidance, has disagreements on this about the masturbation. So if the telos will be sexual act, then it will be considered as immoral act. However, if the telos of masturbation will be release of tension or for the health of the person, then it could be acceptable. So that is how it works about the telos, about the aim, the goal, or the end. There is a quote from Hitler which he said that how lucky it is for rulers that men cannot think. We might wonder, what is the telos of that statement of Hitler? He wanted to achieve things. He employed the most effective ways to achieve them from his point of view. Should soldiers volunteer to get killed to achieve those goals? If they thought about it clearly, probably not. If people really thought deeply about things, it would be harder for the rulers to do what they want, even though it would be good or bad. This is according to Simon Blackburn's book, which is The Ethics, a very short introduction. He pointed out that the telos of Hitler saying that quote is this, but in saying that he sounded as if he too was blind to ethical climate that enabled his own ideas and hence his power to flourish. That is the telos. Another thing that Simon Blackburn highlighted is this: to come to power so that people will think. Thinking was poisoned by an enveloping climate of ideas, many of which may not even have been conscious, for people may not be aware of our ideas. So this is like an idea in the sense in is a tendency to accept roots or thoughts or even feelings that we may not be recognized in ourselves or even able to articulate.
Teleology, although the precise term originated in the 18th century. So, I am going to give you some information about this. Immanuel Kant in the late 18th century uses this theory on his work, which is the Critique of Judgment. Critique of Judgment is the third critique in Kant's critical project, which specifically is the biological as theological. So this is about one human being existence doing natural actions, such example is parents working for their children to have a good life. So that's where telos entered. The purpose of parents in giving their children a good life. A risk that a parents will be taking while on a process of doing the working is worth the risk knowing that it has a good outcome. So that's it. Teleological ethics. So what is teleological ethics? Determined by its ends and primarily with goals of actions and their goodness or badness. This theory focuses on the value of an action. So, teleological focuses on the aftermath of an action that will be done. The possible outcome of the action that a person will be will be doing is what was being focuses while working on the steps on a work that will be acted. Teleological ethics about actions that are right as they produce and promote the greatest happiness, wrong as they promote unhappiness. Happiness refers to pleasure and the absence of pain. And happiness, on the other hand, means pain and the deprivation of pleasure. So, the teleological perspective is a group of theories that are identified by one main conviction, that is, the moral evaluation of actions, motives, or rules is based on how much good they generate or how much bad they allow us to avoid. So, consequentialism, they were sometimes mistaken with the teleology because they have the similarities in which they focuses on the end of the action. But we have to remember that consequentialism is focuses more on the consequences, while teleology focuses on calculating of every steps on what you will do for the desired outcome that you are going to do. It's about taking those steps whether it is risky, but knowing that it will be successful at the end for the sake of the money.
So these are some of the notable thinkers that contributed to teleological ethics. First, Plato, Aristotle, Immanuel Kant, and Thomas Aquinas. So here are the realizations of Plato, and this is the realizations of Aristotle. So this is Saint Thomas Aquinas. So he is a Roman Catholic theologian. So his theory of ethics was influenced by Aristotle and involved teleological thinking that drew upon divine command. So what are the three types of teleological ethics? So first, the ethical egoism, second is utilitarianism, and the third is eudaimonism. So ethical egoism, it is a theory that posits that an action is good if it produces or likely to produce results that maximize the person's self-interest. Also, it is based on the notion that it is always moral to promote one's own good, but at times avoiding personal interest could be a moral action too. Next is the utilitarianism, which holds that an action is good if it results in maximum satisfaction for a large number of people who are likely to get affected by that action. And third is eudaimonism, which posits that an action is good if it results in fulfillment of goals along with the welfare of human beings.
So, teleological theory. First is the natural law or the eudaimonism. Something is right if it fulfills its true purposes, wrong if it goes against these purposes. Something is right if it leads to well-being, wrong if it does not lead to well-being. The thinkers of this are Plato, Aristotle, and the Stoics. So this is very understandable. So I'm going to the next one, which is the ethical egoism. Something is right if it in one's greatest self-interest, contrasts with ethical altruism, and the thinkers are Epicurus, James Rachels, and Ayn Rand. So this ethical egoism, this is about self-interest. So this is about doing my own will for my own personal interest, even if it doesn't benefit the many. And the third one is the utilitarianism. Something is right if that action provides the greatest amount of happiness for the greatest number of people. The thinkers are Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill. So this one will gonna be explained by the next reporter.
So this is our references. And now we are going to proceed to utilitarianism.